So I have all these Helm watches. Well, I don't. They're not mine. They're somebody else's. But they made their way onto the channel. And rather than reviewing the Helm watches, I've done that. Jody's done that. Many other channels have already done that. There's tons of videos out there on the Helm watches. If you want to watch those, go watch those. We're not going to cover that today. Rather, we're going to talk about the waitlist, the availability or lack thereof. Most people, if you're watching this, you either have a Helm and are waiting for another, which means you like it well enough to purchase another one, and that's usually the case, or you have yet to try one and you're on a wait list and you're just waiting to get that, go ahead, say yes, pay now, and you can get your Helm. Because it's kind of a one-man show. I'm sure there's more than one person, but making great watches. And they're not really limited. They're not really scarce per se. But what's happened is they're great watches at an incredible price point. Because most of these, so for example, I believe, hopefully I don't mess this up, the Kuraburi, these guys here are only $310. There might be some variables to that. And then there's $35 shipping. So that's also a clear sign that there's no markup, for like marketing or packaging material, because the packaging is really simple too. They just give you a really good bracelet, old school clasp, a nylon strap, and a great watch with incredible lume. And these are ISO certified divers as well. Most of them are outfitted with Seiko NH movements, whether it's a 35 for the date, 38 for no date, with the exception of this guy here, which is the Mayako. And this has a Citizen Miyota movement in it, a 9015 in this case, because it is a date. And these are less money. And it's a little bit smaller case, less chunky. So if you still want to experience a Helm watch, but don't want that big chunky watch that most of the models are, I would say gravitate towards this one. It's a beautiful looking watch. It should come with a bracelet too. I'd have to find the box. But, great. Actually, this one's still got this. All of them have the stickers on them. These are all brand new watches. That's... sorry you had to listen to that. If you were listening to headphones, sorry. That's the least liked bezel action I have handled on all of these. And then going back to the Kuraburi, like this one, you have a destro configuration of offset crown, really cool, and the bezel action is much more pleasurable, much more enjoyable to use. A very crisp 120 click, and you can see the chunkiness of this thing. They're just fantastic watches, and I can't wait to show you the lume shot at the end. The other one, I don't know if I mentioned the Miyako, that's $375 plus $35 shipping. You just got to wait for it. And then this is another very popular one here. This is the Vanuatu. Am I saying that right? Hopefully. Basically, very similar. I mean, it's not the same case. You can clearly see it's a completely different case and design and everything, but it has that same chunky vibe to it, like 43 mil and all that good stuff, but in a more traditional layout with a 3 o'clock crown with crown guards. I personally really like offset crowns, hence the Seiko Monster, but that traditional look like this, very like almost Tudor Pelly look to it, and then again, a really nice 120 click bezel, and you're going to have lume for days on these things, nice oversized crowns. So these guys are even more affordable. These are only $285 with that $35 additional shipping to get you there. But and then there's just, a bunch of different colorway options. So, and then, like I said on the other one, you have, different crown configurations. They just flip the case essentially. And then there's date, no date. There's the blues, the blacks, the pops of orange on some of them. There's just so many dang options. Regardless of what your choices are, they pretty much are going to have you covered. So it just really comes down to that wait list. You can go on eBay and pick one up, but eBay's kind of a pain in the butt to sell and buy on, quite frankly, with the way they operate now, based most based on my experience and most other people that I've talked to experience, I think you guys would agree as well. So then you look to like Watch Recon, which will search some other sites, Reddit and some other stuff. You can find them used. The other thing you can do is if you get involved with a watch enthusiast community, such as a Discord group or a Facebook group or something like that, there's people that are on waitlist that for one reason or the other, they will pass, even though they've been offered it. Well, if you can, make those connections, oftentimes it's even happened in my group, in my Random Rob Discord, where people are like, hey, I got offered it and I kind of don't even want it anymore. Like if somebody wants it, I'll buy it and then I'll just ship it to you. So sometimes you can kind of cut in line that way, but be careful. Make sure it's somebody that you trust and you're not going to get taken. But otherwise, yeah, you get put on the wait list and I don't know how long it takes. It might take a bit of time. Are they worth waiting for? I think in that $300 price point, yeah, because odds are you're going to go buy some other watches in the meantime. You know what I mean? You're going to go pick up a Seiko or a Squale or something else, and then you'll probably forget about it. And maybe, whatever, months or a year later, you'll get the email that it's time. You can buy your watch now. And then you can decide then. But odds are you've waited that long, you'll probably go ahead and pick it up. So now let's turn off the lights and share another reason why people love these watches so much, the incredible lume. And honestly, that wait list and it being so hard to get, if these were super easy to get, I don't know that there'd be that much hype. The hype maybe is real and it's worth it. It's kind of fun. I'll see you guys in the next vid.